Hello Flosstube, Elizabeth Martinez, phantastitches, here with my update number 386. Today is Saturday, May 17th, and probably this update will be pretty short because I really don't have anything to do that I did this past week. I didn't have much to stitching beyond what I was working on. So I've just been working on WIPGO, and I still have my 2 new starts coming up. And I'm trying to get ready for cross-stitch camp, which is June, July, and August that I'm doing here. Anyway, but I want to start off, the first thing I want to talk about is that I have a finish. So last week I had talked about this design I did for my dad, Wayfaring Stranger, and I don't think this is on our Etsy shop, but I could put it up there if you want to do this, you know, for yourself, for a parent or a loved one as a memorial, or you may just want to do the other elements of the design. You know, like I said, I designed this for my dad just after he passed away, and it's not very big. It's like, what did I say? Oh, I don't have the count on here on this particular sheet. Let me see if I've got it on here. I don't know what the count is, but it's not very big. Let me see if I've got, hold on one second. And I'm being visited by a big dog. I had this scrappy working copy. And I don't know if it's got the stitch count on here, but it's not quite 100 by 100. It's about, I want to say, 98 by 98 by 91, something like that. It's, you know, just shy of 100 by 100. Anyway, so like I said, I designed for my dad a couple of years ago in 2022 when he passed away. And it's called Wayfaring Stranger, named after I took a couple of lines from the old hymn, I am a poor wayfaring stranger. If you saw the movie, what is it called? 2017, I think? 1917, sorry. 1917, about World War I. It's about these 2 soldiers that are supposed to be looking for this particular company to tell them not to do whatever they were supposed to do. Anyway, at one point, this one soldier, I think he stumbles upon this group that's there in the woods, a group of soldiers, and there's a guy singing this Wayfaring Stranger on there. Anyway, but so it's a hymn that we've used in our family for years and years. But anyway, so that was the one I kind of associated with my dad, you know. But so this is the finished thing. I finished it just the other day. You can't get a good picture of it because the light's weird in here. Here it is. So these are fish. Those represent my siblings and their kids and I. And then my dad's siblings and parents and my mom, I think, is how I counted this finally. Yeah. My mom is among these because she passed away 2 years before my dad. And then this is my dad. Anyway, so that's kind of the basic symbolism behind this. And then my dad's name and dates are down here. And one thing I want to add in finishing this is this little sheep charm, Wilhalla Tunis out of Queen Creek. I don't know if they're still there, but they sold their fleece there at Tempe Yarn and Fibers, where I got this from. And so it's got a little sheep there that's going to go on here, either this corner or this corner. I haven't quite decided yet. But this is a very small count fabric. I want to say it's 50 something. This was just sold at Hobby Lobby as embroidery fabric, and I thought, well, there's some squares in there. I could stitch on that. I did. I stitched it 1 over 2, just using DMC threads, and it was very difficult because it's so tiny. It was just I had to have really bright light, and you know, it was very tiny. And I actually used I used beeswax as a thread conditioner, kind of, because when I first was working on it, I would have trouble with the thread just you know, shredding because I think because of the fabric is so tiny, and it would, you know, pull on the, you know, it would wear on the thread. And so, and actually at the Jingle Ball, I don't know, it was this, not this, I don't know if it was this Christmas. I want to say it was last Christmas. I don't know. You know, not this past one, but the year before. I don't know, wherever it was. One of the guest designers, you know, she was doing a meet and greet with stitchers, and somebody had asked her about thread conditioner, about like beeswax, whatever, and she was talking about how to use it and how to, like, you know, sort of run the thread like through your fingers after you've put the conditioner on it. You know, spread it out with your fingers so that it's not globby and it's not whatever, but it strengthens the thread. And I've only ever done it. I don't normally do it, but I did do it working on this, and it kept my thread from shredding or anything like that. So, and like I said, I would run the thread through my fingers to sort of even it out and spread it around and not have gloppy anything, you know. But it really helped with this tiny, tiny, tiny stitching. And so if I had to do this again, I would use bigger fabric, like 28 or 32 or whatever, and probably do it 2 over 2, which is kind of my sweet spot, I think. But yeah, so this was difficult enough that it was not enjoyable. It was more of a chore. I liked the design well enough, I guess, but you know, with that tiny stitching, it was well, you know, like this part with the sheep and the grass and everything is pretty, you know, pretty dense stitching, but it's not that many rows. And if it were on bigger count fabric, it would probably go a lot quicker. Would have gone a lot quicker. But yeah, so I kind of had to force myself a little bit. It wasn't as enjoyable as I would have liked to have been. But anyway, it's finished. So and I will probably do it like a pillow finish and just use this fabric to finish it. You know, I haven't thought that far ahead, and I don't have access to you know, materials and stuff to finish it with, but we'll see. The other thing I worked on then was my other main WIPGO call, which is the Raccoon, part of the Year in the Woods series. This is number 4, I think. Yeah. And when I started this, originally I had just done like just barely this beginning, and then the next time I worked on it, I had done this dark hump of the raccoon and just a little bit of the tail here and a little bit of you know, here and there, like this back claw and one ear or whatever. So anyway, I started working on this, I want to say Wednesday or Thursday. And so I did a little bit more. I did some more on the tail. I did some on the face here. Let me put this fabric back here so it doesn't shine through. So I did all of this gray on the head, and I think this gray on the haunch had already been done. So but I did this gray here, and just this today I did the other dark spot of the ear, inside of the ear, I guess, and the eyes. There's like one little stitch of another color that, you know, that goes there and on the eye, but otherwise it's finished. And I just finished the little nose and mouth, and then the front legs come down here, and their claws are down here. So, but I would like to work on the other, there's more of the sort of flower and greenery down here, so that you can get to, because I have an obsession about getting the cabins in each of these patterns. So what I would like to do, well, and also because the pink is only used for these flowers. These patterns all have like 2 fancy flosses and the rest are DMC. So this pink color is Charlotte's Pink by Weeks Dye Works. And then a lot of the gray here is Weeks Dye Works Graphite. I think it's used primarily, which shade of gray is it? Yeah, the main gray of this haunch, you know, this bluish gray here. So it's I think a lot of the face and this haunch, and then like some of the colors in here, and then the rest are DMC colors. Yeah, 3865 is this white color, and that's the one color that's missing for the eyes, is that little, just one little stitch of that white color. Anyway, so apart from that gray, the other Weeks Dye Works color is this pink, and then the rest is this green and brown of this flower, frond, whatever, and then the little house. And actually, these little windows, the yellow in the windows, that's the only place that color is used also. But so I would like to get that done, just because that's one of my issues I like with working on these, is getting the little cabin done. But this one is far enough away from the raccoon that I had not been able to do it yet. So I would like to, even though I want to get the raccoon finished, I want to get this, part done. If I could do this frond, it's pretty easy. I was looking at it, and if I can get this part done and get the cabin done, then I can concentrate on the raccoon, because it's, that's a little bit harder stitching, because they have these little patterns in the stitching, and that's a little bit more time consuming. It's a little more difficult. But it's coming along nicely. I'm going to put something behind it. But yeah, it's coming along nicely. I have to, wear my thinking cap in doing these little design things. But yeah, so it's coming along. At least you could see his face. I kind of like that idea. There's more, to the front paws here, and of course on the face and everything. But it's coming along. And so I think I have a few more days, 3 or 4 more days working on that before I hit the goal. And then I have my 2 new starts, Parade of Elephants and one of the Jingle Bell Baubles. I'm doing Let It Snow. I actually have those handy here. Let me grab those real quick. For some reason on Saturdays, it doesn't happen to me any other time of any of the week, but for some reason on Saturdays when I go to do this update, my hand gets crampy. And I don't know if it's because I've gone all week working on my stuff or what it is, but yeah, I get crampy. So my 2 new starts for this month are Parade of Elephants by Hello from Liz Matthews. And you know me, I love elephant stuff. So Parade of Elephants. Janine McGowan of the Blue Flower has a pattern called A Parade of Elephants that came out in Punch Needle and Primitive Stitcher magazine. I don't know, it was last year or 2 years ago. She did a series of animals, you know. A Parade of Elephants is one of them. I cannot remember off the top of my head the 3 other groups of animals that she had. But, so I did a Parade of Elephants. I completed that. I finished it and FFO'd it last year, I think. But anyway, so this is a pattern with a slightly different name. But here on the pattern, it says A Parade of Elephants. The pattern title is Parade of Elephants without the A. So like I said, they have, you know, similar names, but this one is just, you know, it's slightly different than from the Blue Flower design. But I thought, what the heck, why not do more elephants? Could never have too many elephants. So this is my other new start, one of my new starts, I should say, for this month. And my other new start for WIPGO is this. This is one of the Jingle Ball Baubles ornaments from the Ornament book called Let It Snow. And this is by, I think, Frosted Pumpkin Stitchery. Let me pull it, let me look at it. Yeah, Frosted Pumpkin Stitchery. So I do have to get to find fabric for both of these. And I have my fabric bag with the fabrics that I have already dyed sitting by my bed to look for these. And I've written down my cross-stitch calculator dimensions for all of these. But so I think from what I remember, among my little scraps of fabric, I have the right color and size for this one, if you know, to finish it. And then I just have to look and make sure I have something that would be appropriate for this. I might have to dye a piece of fabric for it. I'm not sure yet. I haven't decided yet. But also, one of the things I wanted to touch on was that I will probably dye some fabric for my cross-stitch camp project. And I don't have with me one of them. I think I talked about this last week, that I want to do Parade of Elephants. No, I just said that. Forget-me-nots, which is an elephant with a little bouquet of forget-me-nots. And I think it's by Tiny Modernist. And I keep forgetting to grab it because I have it in all my Nashville things that I ordered. But it's one of the Night Garden series, so I have the Night Garden threads for that. So that's going to be my July cross-stitch camp thing. You know, stitch the challenges your favorite designer, stitch something by your favorite designer. And Tiny Modernist is one of my favorites, one of my many favorites. I thought, how am I supposed to choose my favorite designer? Because I love Plum Street, I love Blue Flower, I love Tiny Modernist, I love Lindy Stitches. I just like whatever I'm working on, it's like, this is my favorite. No, this is my favorite. No, this is my favorite. Silver Creek Samplers is among my favorites. So like I said before, this is going to be my June camp project, and then Forget-Me-Nots is my July one, and then this Starry Night is going to be my August project, or August challenges. Stitch something by something new to you. So this is a new designer for me, Cosford Rise, I think, Cosford Rise. And what I'm going to have to do, I think, is this is a very it's 4 pages for each side of this. It's very big, and actually it's harder for me to visualize and to make sure I've gotten getting the overlaps correct and all that stuff. So I will probably either like make working copies and tape it all together so I have one sheet, or I might see if I can take it to the copy shop and reduce it. Because I can't do reduction on my personal printer here. It doesn't have that capability. But if I can reduce the pattern so that it's a single sheet, I might do that. But it just depends, because I think it's, if I remember correctly, it's a black and white pattern with I think just the back stitching is colored, but I think the rest of it is black and white, if I remember correctly. But so I might just, you know, make a working copy and tape it together so that I have it all in one sheet instead of the 4 sheets, because that's a little mind-boggling for me. But anyway, so like I said before, the 3 there's 3 shades of blue, right? Oops, that's upside down. So this light blue, the medium blue, and this dark blue. And so my sister has some blue rip dye, and so I just have to like get enough fabric of the right sizes and all that, and dye it appropriately for that. But the other day I was at Walmart just picking up prescriptions, and one of the things, I went through the craft aisle and I thought, yeah, I was looking at the various colors they had. They didn't have a whole lot of selections, but they had some, and so I got this green. It's Truly Green is what the name of it is, and I just got that because I thought I don't intend to use it for any of my cross-stitch camp projects, but I might use it for, you know, something else coming up. I have, you know, so I have that option of at least maybe doing a little splash of green along with something else, whatever. So I just got it just because. But you know, I'm lamenting because I have all kinds of colors of dye in storage. You know? So I didn't want to, you know, like rebuy everything for when I already have a whole bunch of like I said, a bunch of colors. You know, I just have very limited resources right now because we're in this sort of, you know, trying to move limbo. But anyway, so hopefully I'll be able to you know, dye some different fabrics for different projects when I get together with my sister at her house with, you know, dyeing things. Anyway, so like I said, hopefully by next Saturday, which would be Memorial Day weekend, hopefully by then I will have hit my goal of 7 days on the Raccoon, and I will start on one or both, depending on what I feel like doing, of my new starts, my WIPGO starts for this month, and then that will, and at the same time I will be preparing for cross-stitch camp. I'm kind of excited about that, just because, you know, I will still have the WIPGO finishes. I think by next week, will I have the numbers by next week? I had my calendar right here and I didn't look at it. Yeah, they will announce the new numbers next weekend. So theoretically Sunday, but maybe if I get lucky, she'll announce them a little bit early. So I may have them by the 24th. I don't know. The 25th is the official day, which is Sunday. So, so I may or may not have them next week. But so that, is going to make the summer a little bit, a lot of stitching for the summer. But I'm looking forward to it. It's kind of fun. It's, a little bit of a palette cleanser, in some ways, just doing something new rather than all of the stuff that's on my WIPGO board. But we shall see how that comes out. So anyway, that is all I have this weekend. I'm going to a concert tonight with the Phoenix Symphony. It's their end of the season concert, so I'm doing that tonight. And yeah, so that's all I've got for my update. So hopefully next weekend I will have, like I said, I will have finished my raccoon goal. Will have hit the goal on my raccoon, done the 2 new starts. Maybe I'll have some, I don't think I'll have the fabric yet. I don't think I will have dyed the fabric yet to prepare for Cottage camp, because I think I'm going to do it that Memorial Day weekend. That's the weekend that my sister has, some free time. So I don't think I'll have it in time to show next Saturday, but I will have it Saturday after that, the 31st, when I do my update on the 31st. So we'll see how that goes in preparation for Cottage camp. I think that's it. So, do I have anything else I was going to talk about? I don't think so. I think that's it. So, I will see you all next weekend. And again, thanks for watching. Bye.